10-year-old in respiratory distress with a history of Duchenne muscular dystrophy since the age of 6. He is managed at home with nasal BiPAP.
All right, you have your scenario, so let's go ahead and get started. Grab whatever your cheat sheet is, Brazotape, Pantevi, but just remember, red has to go to the head and then you measure to the heel. So you can see clearly this child falls into the green zone. All right, on to Scott for a quick tip.
So when it comes to muscular dystrophy, most importantly, if you remember nothing else, just remember that what does muscular dystrophy do for your level of consciousness is called nothing. And that's crucial, because up until the very end, they can see, hear, feel everything. They just can't do squat about it. That's what makes the disease just truly awful. However, take that one step further, and that's when it comes to muscular dystrophy, why do these kids finally die? And that's, as you can imagine, because of respiratory. Because when it comes to sick kids, simply with few exceptions, everything is respiratory. And if it's not respiratory, it's probably respiratory. So with that, they hit the point that they're tubed, they're trached, they're now in long term, and you know what the sequelae regrettably tend to be from there. So why this though is an issue, especially if you're critical care or in the ER, is like many people, I don't take care of muscular dystrophy kids every day in my ER or on transport. But with that, a little while back, we had a muscular dystrophy kid who had to get intubated before we could bring the kid back home. And with that, when we came into the ICU, we sat down with the fellow, and they gave us just a quick refresher regarding airway management and these kids. And they said, most importantly, remember, as we touched on, that muscular dystrophy does nothing for your level of consciousness. They said, but beyond that, if you've got to tube them. Normally, when we think about intubating patients, a lot of times we use etomidate or ketamine to put them to sleep, and sucks. And we love sucks or succinylcholine as a paralytic because it goes in fast. And more importantly, if you can't put the tube in, it goes away fast. They're like just as a reminder that if you give sucks to a kid with muscular dystrophy, their chance of developing hyperkalemia, otherwise known as their potassium goes to 1,000,000, and they drop dead in front of you, is a whole lot higher than everybody else. So they said if you're going to intubate a muscular dystrophy kid, after you put them to sleep, if you're going to paralyze them, that's absolutely fine. But just remember that as a diagnosis, muscular dystrophy sucks. So if you're going to tube them, no sucks.